Dephemerember is back, and I couldn't be more excited. In today's video, we're diving into the creation of a junk journal cover, whether for your swap partner or yourself. This journal will be your companion for this year's Dephemerember, a series dedicated to creating ephemera using prompts throughout December, hosted by my dear friend Luise Heinzl and myself. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. Can you believe it? We're already in the 4th year of Dephemerember, and your feedback over the years has been invaluable. And we've made some tweaks to ensure you have the best possible experience this time around. Honestly, this series is the highlight of my crafting year, and I'm beyond thrilled to get started. If you're feeling the excitement too, give this video a thumbs up and drop a heart in the comments. Luise and I are so grateful for each and every one of you who've helped shape Dephemerember into what it is today. We can't wait to embark on this ephemera adventure with you again. And if you're new here, welcome. You're in for something special. And if you've missed our Q&A videos about this year's Dephemerember, don't worry, you can find them linked in the playlist below, along with the Dephemerember landing page where all the essential details are available. The prompt list will be published on social media on November 15th, so that's over 2 weeks before we start, so you'll have plenty of time to prepare. And we're sharing these videos early so you can find a swap partner. Again, all the details are on the landing page and in the Q&A videos. And get your journal ready, whether it's for your swap partner or for yourself. So here's a quick recap if you're planning to join us. 1. Make your junk journal by Monday, December 2nd to kick off Dephemerember. 2. The free prompt list will be available for download on November 15th on Instagram and our YouTube community pages. 3. From December 2nd to 31st, Luise and I will each be posting 18 videos Monday through Thursdays using the prompts as inspiration. So to add a bit more fun and challenge, Luise and I again decided to create journals for each other this year. We've done this in 2022 as well, and it added so much fun to the whole process to be able to work in a journal that somebody else created for you. And since the process of making the cover took longer than expected, I decided to split this cover video into 2 parts. Part 2 will be available in 1 week, so stay tuned for that. But now let's finally get started on making this journal cover. So the difference between Luise's way of working and my way of working is that Luise usually has a complete plan. She has a picture in her head how it's going to look at the end. Not me. I have no clue what this cover is going to look like, and I am just trying my best not to freak out. What I would love to do, seriously, but I can't do this to her, is make a journal out of this pink jean skirt. Oh my goodness, how fun would that be? But she would never talk to me again. Imagine Luise having to work in a journal with a color like this. I don't know what she would do. It would be hilarious to find out, but I just can't do this to her. So instead, I want to try something with these jeans. So both of these I found at a flea market a few months ago, and I think these are so fun. And what I especially love about them is, look at these tears. How cool are they? So I've made jeans journals in the past. I've made a small one, so this one here, and I love this one to bits. You see? But it's small, right? And I want to do something different. I also made a large one, but the cover was actually only partially made of jeans. So for this one, I think I want to make the whole cover out of jeans material. Now, of course, we have these weird shapes. These are very skinny girls' jeans. So I think the only way to do that would be to cut rectangles, and then we try to piece them together. And you know, with Luise, more is more, definitely. Totally not my style. I usually like less is less. But this is for Luise. So Luise has to love it, so we need to do more is more. So my first step is to cut up these jeans. Cut it right here where it's folded already anyway. It is kind of weird to cut up jeans, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I want this zipper part in it, so let's cut around that. Oh, these are super stretchy. I'm just realizing that. Oh my goodness. Hopefully that will not create any additional problems. I don't know if you believe me when I say, in all honesty, I have no idea what this cover is going to look like. I don't know if or what else I'm going to add. Does it need a focal point? I have no idea. But hopefully, with my method of baby steps, we can figure this out as we go along. I also think I will put a paper bag in the middle. So when I say in the middle, I mean, you know, this is probably going to be the outside, and then we need another fabric for the inside. And we probably need a third fabric because, you know, we have the holes here. So we want something to peek through as well. But in between the outside and the inside, I want a paper bag just because it's my favorite way of making a journal. And I just love the feel of it. I love the flexibility of it. Okay, so we have a pretty good piece here now, out of which I can cut rectangles, but I also want this part right here. So I will keep on cutting. Oh, there's another good one here. And then I'll show you what my pieces look like. Okay, so as you can see, I have cut up various rectangles. They're different sizes. Some of them I might end up cutting down even more. Since these are so stretchy, this piece here, for example, is going to be very challenging because yeah, it's stretchy and it's not going to lay flat. So we might just embrace the look of that and put it down with its folds, you know. Same thing here, you see. We have these folds here that are going to remain folds, I think. We'll get there. Now my next step is to roughen up those edges because I don't like these clean edges at all. So I'm going to take my scissors. These are my fabric scissors. And I'll just go along the edges. And that way also I get these white edges. And I want some threads hanging out. This will also, unfortunately, especially because these are stretchy, it will alter the shape of them. Let's see what they look like once we go around it once. And then you can also see the difference between one that we've done this to and one that we haven't. And if you want to make one of these yourself, then you can make an informed decision what you prefer. So you see how this is kind of now out of shape, but I think it should be okay. Well, it's going to be challenging for sure. So this is one with roughed up edges, oops, and this is without. So yeah, you decide what you prefer. I will go ahead and rough up all of these edges. I do think these are more than we need, and I should probably cut some of these down further because they are too big, so that I know how many edges I need to do this for. These here were the bottom of the jeans. I like that look as well. So see you back here once I have all my edges the way I want them to be. So I have this stack of pieces all done. I have a few more in case those are not enough. So next I'm going to take a paper bag. This is one from a supermarket. So I'm going to use a similar technique to how I make my planners. So I'm first going to take this apart. Doesn't matter if it tears, I won't need this bottom part anyway. These paper bags just provide a great structure for your cover. I love that it's still flexible and soft. This paper bag is quite large. Wait, maybe I can zoom out a little bit more. I think that's better. So we have this now, and now we just fold this over so that we have a long tube. And we just flatten this. Next, I turn this around and I cut off the handles. So next we need to figure out the dimensions for the cover. So Luise and I decided we're going to use A4 paper folded in half as our signature, because this is the easiest way, since A4 is our standard paper. If your standard paper is, for example, US letter size, then please go by that, just because it's easy. Don't follow our measurements because they won't make sense for what works best for you. So Luise and I agreed on 4 signatures with 5 pages per signature. And in addition, we will add, I think, 2 smaller pieces in the signatures as well. So this is actually very similar to what I do for my planners. How did we get to 4 signatures with 5 pages each? We're going to have 18 prompts this year. And obviously we wanted some extra space as well. Also, we want to maybe do a double spread for a prompt. So we wanted it to have a little bit flexibility, but we did not want it to get as bulky as, for example, the one we made for each other 2 years ago, 2022. So this was the beautiful journal that Luise made for me in 2022. It is, I mean, it's so gorgeous, but it's just too bulky. It's very difficult to work in. Oh, my poor dragonfly wings are bent. So we're trying to avoid this, and this had way more pages than I needed. So we're trying to conquer this situation this year. Let's see if we manage. If you want to see more about the making of this journal, you can find that in the Dephemerember 2022 playlist. So we decided to leave 1.5 centimeters between the signatures, which is approximately 1/2 inch, because we want to have enough space to add ephemera. In this one, for example, we only had 1 centimeter instead of 1.5. And you see here also we had 6 signatures. Crazy. So this time we will have 4 signatures, so -2. And we're leaving more space in between. So that means we came to a spine of 7.5 centimeters, which is approximately 3 inches. So if we fold one of these pages in half, we can easily determine the height of the journal. So if I put this here, I don't want a lot of space on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to cut mine here. So I will measure how far this is, and then, because I want to make a straight line, so it's 10 centimeters. Okay, let's cut this down. So now I need to determine the width of the cover. So I want to leave a little bit space here, not too much. Yeah, let's make it a little less. I think Luise doesn't like it when there's too much space, so let's move this up a bit. Then we add 7.5 centimeters for the spine. So that's here, from here to here. So this is our spine. And then we need space for another signature. So if we put this here, and again, we leave just a little bit extra, we are here. Does that make sense? So this is the size of our cover. Maybe we can fold where the spine is, just so we have a better idea. I know Luise likes flat spines rather than round spines. So now we can imagine it's going to be like this. So on the bottom here, we still have this gusset from the paper bag. We're going to leave it in for stability. The top is open. So let's turn this to this side because this is going to be our outside. So what would be really helpful for me to know now is, am I going to put this on the front cover with some fabric underneath? Is that going to be basically our focal point? Or do I want something else as my focal point? This is really difficult and this is so wonky. It's okay, Luise likes wonky. Or do we put this on the back to make the back interesting? And on the front, we just have like a patchwork of these and then add another focal point. Or do we add these, not like this, but to make it more interesting, to put, you know what? I think I need to first decide on what fabric is going to go underneath, because otherwise I cannot visualize what is happening here. So I have a short list of fabrics that I chose, and I am super torn because Luise and I decided we want to keep this journal kind of neutral. Well, we never talked about the cover, but for the inside, we want to keep it fairly neutral so that we have the most flexibility to work in it. Does that mean that the cover needs to be neutral as well? In my opinion, it does not, but maybe that will turn out to be the best solution. I really don't know. It's so difficult. So if we're thinking of neutral, I love this one, for example. This one is by Marsha Dorsey and it's called Postcards Black Ivory. Look how gorgeous this is. So I think this would look amazing underneath our jeans fabric. That would be a very easy solution. We won't see a lot of it. It depends on how we put it on, but we probably won't see a lot of it. So for example, yeah, this is really hard to imagine. I mean, basically it gets lost because there's not a lot of contrast here. It has the same colors as the jeans, the black, the white, the gray. So this would be a very subtle, very neutral version. If we imagine that we maybe cut out some of these pieces, or we don't cut them out, but maybe we don't cover all of it. You know what I mean? Like we leave some pieces peeking out. I love that as well. That's really nice, actually. So we'll keep this one in mind. The other difficulty is that Luise and I have completely different tastes, so it makes it all the more difficult. This one here, who is this by? I think this is Seth Apter, or it's also Marsha Dorsey. I will check this and write that down in the description box for you, as well as I will include the link for the German online store where I get these beautiful fabrics. So again, this is neutral. This one is crazy. This one seems like it's more Luise. This is too much, too much, too much. So having this underneath, it's not much difference. I mean, obviously we're going to cover up, you know, around it. So we would only see whatever peeks through. And again, here we could leave some parts showing, you know, something like this. It wouldn't be a lot of contrast, but it would be neutral. So here, if we leave some pieces peeking out, it kind of gives us a similar look, but it is a bit more crazy from the design, you know what I mean? If I had to choose between this one and this one, I would prefer this one, but I could imagine Luise would like this one more. I don't know. It's so difficult when it's not for yourself, you know, and you want to make the best choices for the person you're making it for. In the end, obviously the person that you're making it for has to like it, but I believe you have to like it as well, because otherwise you're not going to enjoy making it. Then there's this one, which is called Time Return, but it's the same story, and I think this one out of the three is probably the most boring, although it's a beautiful fabric. So I can get rid of this one. So if we want a bit more contrast, Luise loves green, so maybe something like this. Then we have to ask ourselves, if the inside is neutral, is it okay that the outside is more colorful? I think yes, I love contrast. I could imagine Luise loves it as well. No idea what she's going to decide to do. Oh, look how beautifully this pops from underneath. Wow. So that's a completely different look. Maybe we would move this around so that it has more green showing underneath here. I mean, it's a weird color combination, right? It's not something I would usually go for. It's very interesting. I could really imagine Luise loving this. Wouldn't be mine, although I think it's very interesting. Oh my goodness, this is so difficult. And this one is called Abandoned, and it's by Tim Holtz. I would say this is a beautiful option for Luise. Then there's this one. This is one of my favorites as well, even though I'm not the biggest fan of green. But how gorgeous is this? And this one is called Shine, and it's by Seth Apter. Oh my goodness, I'm so in love with this. I know for a fact that Luise would love this one as well because of the colors. It has black in it, so maybe the black would look really nice on it, although this is more gray than black. So this also gives beautiful interest underneath. I actually think I like this one better. It's more subtle than this one here, for sure. I really like this one. Then I have a really crazy one. This again is Marsha Dorsey. This one is from the series Spotted Graffiti, and it's called Golden Hour. So this graffiti comes in various colors. Oh, here you have the name, Spotted Graffiti. It also has green. This one is so crazy. Shows up really well underneath. Not sure how much I'm loving this combination though. Yeah, no, I don't see this one happening. And lastly, I want to try this one. So this is again the Spotted Graffiti series, and this one is called Snowball. So again, we're in the neutral tones. I like this as well. This works really, really well together. So this one is super harmonious. Wow, I really like this as well. So if I wanted a neutral cover, this would be the one. And if I want a pop of color underneath, it's this one. Oh my goodness, what to do? Another option would be to use this on the front and this one on the inside. I mean, I don't know how well they go together, to be honest. Oh, this is difficult. So this is what it could look like with the green one. So as much as I love this, I think I'm going to go with the gray because I'm not sure that it's okay to put color in the cover. Because we didn't discuss it, and maybe Luise wants to add something to the cover as well, especially if I do decide to just keep this and not add a lot more for a focal point. Maybe Luise will want to use one of the prompts to add something for a focal point, and that will make it easier if it's neutral, and that way I'm just sticking to the neutral theme that we decided on. I think it's a safer option, although I am absolutely sure she would adore this as well. I'm kind of chickening out here. Luise, I hope, when you see this video, once you have received your journal, that you're not crying now because I didn't take this fabric. It's so difficult. What would Luise do? I don't know. I think I need to do the same setup with the gray one more time just to be sure. You have to go through this with me. I'm sorry, but we're in this together. So here's the gray version. And now I think it's boring. Oh my goodness, no. Yeah, it's too neutral. What the heck? I liked it before. No, I'm not happy with this. Okay, it's going to be the green version. I'm so happy I checked again. It's so interesting how our opinion changes. So the inside needs to be neutral because the pages are going to be neutral, and at least I need to stick to the neutral theme for the inside. So I think I'll take this one here, which was The Time Returned by Tim Holtz. Will I do something to alter the fabric? I don't know. Difficult question. Maybe not this piece. Maybe something that's a little more busy. Like here. Yeah, this is better. So I'll go ahead and cut out my pieces of fabric so that they are a little bit bigger than my paper. So 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something like that. So let's do the inside one. So we have the outside fabric. Then we have our paper bag. I might have to cut this down just a little bit more. And then we have our inside fabric. Like so. We're not going to adhere the inside fabric yet. Let's worry about the outside for now. So I'll turn this around. So I'll adhere the fabric like I always do. I have some white PVA glue thinned down with a little bit of water. I'm so sorry, I don't know what this machine is that is outside. I hope you cannot hear the noise. It's super annoying, but I need to do this video. As this is a larger surface, that might actually be the washing machine from my neighbor upstairs. I think that's what it is. I hope you don't hear it. So as I was saying, since this is a larger surface, I am going to do this section by section so that my glue does not dry. I am mindful to put my glue everywhere, to not leave any spots without glue. Actually, this time I will do it the other way around. Let's put the fabric down. Make sure it's the direction you want it to go. And then we'll put the paper bag down on top, at least for the first section, because this way I can see better where I'm putting it. Yeah, this is good. And then I just continue section by section. Not the sewing machine, the washing machine has just stopped. Thank goodness. Those are the noises you have to deal with living in an apartment. You hear the baby crying downstairs and the washing machine and the vacuum cleaner from upstairs. It's a lot of fun. So, and as always, I want to mention, you do not need to be able to sew to make a cover like this. It does add some decoration, obviously, but it's not necessary for the structure of the journal. If you're mindful to put your glue all the way to the edge, there is no need to sew. As always, I will be doing that because I love the look. I know Luise loves the look. But that doesn't mean you have to. And this time, and this cover is not getting any pockets. Sorry, Luise. But I'm going to have to sew through the cover. So that means no pockets. But I think that's okay. I'm not sure Luise is the biggest fan of these pockets anyway. Okay, I will definitely need to cut this down. Yeah, so I definitely need to cut it down. It always seems to spread a little bit when you glue it on, but that's okay. So while I'm not using my glue brush, I just stick it in a jar of water so that it doesn't dry out. So let's just trim down this edge. Let's not tear it. I have a feeling I put it on a little bit crookedly. That's getting too close to the edge. Okay, so the size is good. I am nervous, honestly. So at the same time that I'm making this cover, Luise is making a cover for me. So be sure to check out Luise's video, which is in her playlist linked below this video. And I promise you, she will not have a cliffhanger like I do. And I do apologize again. I hope you tune in for part 2. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.